What films have you made?
Flashdance, Beverly Hills Cop, the first one, Top Gun, the only one, and Beverly Hills Cop 2. If there's an isness, it always was is, and it always will be is. And it ain't going to be less than or more than. Something else is happening other than just what's going on in this room, what's going on, you know, in life, in quotes. If not, it's the cruelest joke ever perpetrated on you know, civilization. The way you keep people in line is to scare the shit out of them and tell them the only way they're going to escape this fucking fear is by believing in something that you know all about. By the time Sunday school had become a big part of my life and I was leading Sunday school, and I also noticed at the age of 10 the distaff gender, a major complication occurred in my life. It was tough, you know, walking around with a Bible in one hand and my libido in the other. Our pastor on a prayer meeting night had gotten me in the corner of this cold, dank basement, and he'd become aware that I'd been looking at the ladies in church. Not the girls, but the ladies. I guess I wanted the mothers. I don't know where I was coming from. There was a particular girl named Charlene Turner who was a friend of mine, and he made a comment about I was, you know, apparently lusting after Charlene Turner. Remind you, I was 10 years old. And I said, well, yeah, and you know, this is a guy I could trust. This is a man who my whole life had been my kind of quasi-mentor and moral benefactor. And so I told the truth to Minister Cully. I said, I have these thoughts, I have these feelings, and what do you think? He said, if you think about it beyond this moment, God will strike you. And if you do anything about it, you will live in hell forever. At that moment, I said, I'm going to play Little League and get laid. This is bullshit. You know, like when you meet a lady and she says, well, would you like to make love? Well, the first thing I'd like to do is fuck, not make love. Love is not something I understand. Love is something that in my experience has always seemed distant and fleeting, and that kind of gossamer-like goal that a lot of people are intently pursuing. So I've never pursued it. My position has always been, if it occurs, great, give me some of that. As I look around me and as I experience my own life, it's really tough to escape early conditioning. I mean, I was brainwashed. I'm a brainwashed guy. I was born and raised in Anchorage, Alaska, third generation, and was, you know, a kid who ran around and did wild and crazy things, basically lived in the library and stole cars. I knew from the age of 10 that I would leave and never go back. I came from a family that was, and is, extremely religious, Southern Baptist, fundamental Christians, hit you in the head in the morning and make you pray at night. It was a lot of fun. Go to church 3 times a week, get on your knees on a concrete floor, thank God for the fact that he didn't kill you that day. Made you feel good about life. They made it real clear that we were all born evil, nasty, dirty people, and then if we hung on long enough in this life, God would give it all back to us in the next one. I knew they were full of shit, and I wanted to get out of there as fast as I could. It's not a question of believing in other lives, past lives, future lives. It's not about Shirley MacLaineism with me, but it is about a strong feeling that I'm not my body. God, I hope I'm not my body, because it ain't getting any better. Those people that have a very strong sense of I, strong egos, a strong sense of self-direction and focus, are essentially aware that underneath the belief structures and the philosophies and the attitudes and the wants and desires is basically a fucking void. I was a kid going through so many changes regarding the Bible and Jesus Christ and the Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost, and all that stuff. Somehow it came into my mind that I would lock myself in the bathroom and say my own name over and over into the mirror. Don't know where I got the idea, except I did it. And I became absolutely nothing. And I remember being locked in the bathroom, sitting on the edge of the bathtub, having repeated mantra-like my own name, Don Simpson, until it became gibberish. A lot of people think it is today, by the way. And I had this absolute lack of sense of self. And I would have to sit down and literally regroup my point of view and my orientation, and I would have to travel back to wherever I thought I was when I started. And I remember almost not making it back on 2 occasions. I do like altered states of consciousness, but I like remaining me at the same time. I've always been able to kind of teeter on the precipice, and a sense of whatever, self-survival, drive, desire, and desire is an interesting one, something is a kind of celestial chord that pulls me back, that reels me back in. I would kill someone with absolutely no compunction if they transgressed me. I mean, if someone threatened my life and they were going to kill me, next, they're gone. I mean, I have seen people killed, and I've seen them killed in the act of self-defense, not by me, by somebody else. It was justified, and you know what? That's showbiz.
Are you ready to die right now?
No, absolutely not. If you got any ideas, keep them to yourself. Death, if it's going to visit me, I hope it comes in the night and just strikes me down. I think that there's probably a revelatory experience awaiting everyone that has to do with finding out who and what you really are. And I think when that occurs, if it occurs, you reach nirvana-heaven. And the degree to which you don't reach that place of realization, you're in eternal hell.
Is this the person speaking who's abandoned his origins?
I never said I abandoned my origins. I said I was running away from them eternally. Never had the desire. I think it's probably a function of growing up in a family which was, as discussed, extremely rigid and very family-oriented, and it played with my notion of family. All I saw that came out of family life was pain. Pain and obligation and false ritual.
Can you envision an end of the universe where there's nothing again?
Never, never.